and welcome back to part 3 of Final Fantasy 15. This time we're going to start working our way towards Golden Key so we can hop on that boat to Old Tisha. But firstly I want to check out the shop at Hammerhead to see if there's any weapons that I'd like to get, such as the broadsword there and this war sword, which seems quite interesting, but the blade we have in Gladio is a bit better, so I think I'll leave that off for now. Ooh, the Avengers look quite good. Yeah, I'll get it. And what about the guns? The characters would be better.
I'll see you later.
Thank you. Let's get that broadsword. We're not using Ragnarok because that thing's OP as shit. I apologise in advance, but I still have a sore throat. You might have noticed in some of the later DMC parts recently, like part 3 and 4, that my throat's been a bit off, but it's just what it is. But I think we're going to mess a little with the Ascension Tree, because there's something I'd like to show off a bit more today, if I can. Firstly, I want to get regrouped with Ignis, that's a definite, and I'll get Dawnhammer while I'm at it since I got the other two, but I'm going to press on, because I want to get this, change to Prompto. When all 3 of the original episodes for the game were released, one of the extra things they added was the ability to play as all the other 3 of all the bros in gameplay, but only during combat. If you're not in combat, you're still only playing as Noxus. But the moment that you're not in combat, well, the moment that you are in combat, you can take control of whoever you have unlocked to take control of. In this instance, it'll be Prompto, and I'll be sure to show him off as much as I can throughout this part anytime we get into combat, to show you just what he's made of and how powerful he can be if you know how to use him. Because all of the bros can be very powerful in the right hands if you know how to use them. Unfortunately, I'd have to say Noctis is probably the weakest of the lot, but that's just because he came first. The other 3 have had time to get feedback and things like that after the game's launched, before they were released, so they're better, for better or worse. The one who's supposed to be the strongest just isn't. Anyway, when you're in the car, Ignis is usually driving, which we can't take manual drive for now, but you can still sort of control it if you move the left stick, or if you hold down R2 it'll go faster, if you hold on L2 he will slam the brake, etc, etc. You can also press the square button to do a U-turn if you want to change the direction of where you're going. You can press up on the D-pad to bring up your playlist, because you have several playlists. If you bring up the map menu, it'll come up like this, and you'll still be able to see what's going on a smaller screen, which is very nice. You do have a limited amount of fuel, as you can see in the bottom left, and in the bottom right, this is where I've just put up the playlist to show what I mean with what you can put on at any point. You don't have every track from every Final Fantasy, but you have quite a few to start with. Every shop, visit them, because you'll be able to get more as you go. And the most annoying thing, like me personally, Final Fantasy IV, why do they use the DS's soundtrack? Why didn't they use the original? Pretty much everyone agrees the original was a far superior soundtrack to the DS one. And the DS one only sounds that bad because of the limited sound works that are on it. So the fact that they chose the DS one, despite the fact it was made on a limited sound system compared to the SNES, like a waste of time and money. Anyway, we're setting here, and we need to talk to the motel manager to give the thing that Cindy gave us last part. Also, the design we've got on our Regalius, with all the sprites and whatnot, that's something that you got with pre-ordering the game.
You all came all the way out here to deliver the goods. Well, thank you kindly. We'll take it out of the trunk, so you all just sit tight.
I bet it'll fade to black and it will just go for us. Yep. Oh, but we get a little visitor whilst we're here. Meet Umbra, our messenger dog between Noctis and Lunafreya.
A dog can really track a scent.
Yeah.
Knows how to find us.
Oh, thanks for the pun, Ignis.
Just a sec.
Because now Noctis gets to have a nice little tender moment here.
Nice flower. It's the same kind we sewed our crowns from. Oh yeah, Sill blossoms. So, I have a favor to ask. Take the notebook with you when you go. Sure. That's not all. I want you to put something in the book and send it back.
Because it's not like we all have mobile phones and you can just text each other. No, it is time to come for me to leave Tenebrae. Finally going to see you after all these years. Just left the Crown City. Oh, got it. I like to try and at least be somewhat kind-hearted about it, so I'll go with the top option. Because this is pretty much the only interactivity you're going to see from Noctis and Lunafreya in this game. The bump-ins with Umbra where he gives you the book. Or he or she, I don't know what the gender of the dog is off the top of my head.
All set. Take care out there.
Bye, doggo.
I know. You're not gonna tell me.
Then don't ask.
What was that about?
And then he asks anyway.
Don't say.
Now that our work's done, let's see ourselves to Golden.
Not quite yet, Ignis. We won't go to Golden Key right now. If you go over here, you can get a hotel room, and it'll give you a 1.5 times experience boost for resting there. Makes me kinda wish I'd come here first instead, but whatever. I camped there last. I camped in the caravan last part. I'm sticking to it.
Addressed to Meldacio inside the package.
Meldacio? The Hunter HQ?
The place we won't be able to
Yes,
go
sir.
to for ages
The
yet.
ought to be around here somewhere. Mind making one more delivery?
Sure, it's on the way. It's literally across the road, so it's not that bad. At any point, you can go to here, click and go to your quest on the pause menu and click on it. It says level 5, but if you're don't worry about it. If you're still lower than that, it's really not that much of a challenge. But over here, in this little box shack, other than being an item, oh, take a shot. I'll take another one. There's a high elixir, hey, because they just give it to you there. And look, it's Dave from before. He's going to give us a nice little quest. Hand the envelope to Dave. Yes, we will.
Can't seem to catch a break.
And he's going to explain something a little bit more serious, but something that's a part of what you need to know with Final Fantasy 15.
They found another one.
Wait, found another what?
Tag. Us hunters keep them on our person at all times as identification.
What? In case you forget who you are?
More like so no one else forgets who they were. Hunters lead a life of danger. Sometimes these tags are the only things that make it back in one piece. It's our job to deliver them to the families of the fallen. As it were, I came out here to do just that. If y'all happen to find any tags lying around out there, would you do me a favor and send them my way?
Yeah, sure.
Word is somebody spotted a tag around these parts. Try asking the local tipster. He'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, that's something that's a thing in Final Fantasy 15. If you spot dog tags in the area, that's because of a fallen hunter, so they're always worth picking them up and taking them back to Dave. He'll give you stuff for it, but it's always worth doing.
And give the
So I remember like talking to people about it, and they saying, "Oh, that's so dark." It's like yada yada yada, and it's like, have you played some of the classic Final Fantasies? Like, this is the same franchise who had a protagonist throw herself off a cliff because her grandfather had died, and her fiance was assumed dead but wasn't sure, in a world that was literally ending. Like, we've had far darker shit in the franchise. Come on. And it's not like any, like in some of the classic Final Fantasies where, like, Final Fantasy 2, 4, and 6, if you weren't playing it right, the amount of main characters that you could have killed off by, like, just by playing through it if you weren't careful. Oh, and there's another ingredient for Ignis, for a new recipe.
I could taste test for you.
Because everyone remembers Aerith's infamous death, but that wasn't even the first time back in 7. Like I said, we've got, like, Joseph in 2, about half the fucking cast in 4, and nearly everyone in 6 if you don't do it right. You can make everyone live in 6, or almost everyone die, depending on how you play it. Which was part of the charm of 6, is that it had that ability with it, that you could really fuck everything up for yourself if you didn't know and didn't know what to do.
Welcome to the Crow's Nest.
Welcome to Kenny Crow, his little diner, the Crow's Nest. We need to talk to him because we'll get a destination for our tags. He'll tell us where it is, near this giant mountain a little north of us. A giant mountain that in no way, shape or form will have any significance on anything later on. No way.
Task. Have a look at
Let's see what we can make. Kenny salmon, or salmon, and Kenny's fries. Or, nah, I'm alright with what we got. There's no point wasting the gil.
I can eat a horse.
The arcade machine there, the Justice Monster 5, I'll show that off in a little bit, but I want to do this quest first. So that means off to travel towards the giant mountain over in yonder. And hopefully we'll have some encounters along the way, so I can show off Prompto.
There in a jiffy.
Sorry about that little cut there. I still always have to be wary of the record timer on PS4. Of every half an hour it will go, so I still have to go back and check it.
Lady Luna Freya back to the Crown City.
Nah, no need to rush to happily ever after.
Wow, still can't believe you're actually tying the knot, dude.
Well, you don't say that yet, Prompto. We're not there yet.
Fine, I guess.
Ah, come on, you can't fool me. Any guy would be over the moon to marry her.
You're trying to tell us
No big
something,
deal.
Prompto.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, let's examine this.
It came from there.
Oh, and it's saber tusks over there. Neat. Oh, it's running away. Where's it asking us to go? Okay, not too far. I might go over and fight that saber tusk
Maybe
Just-
this way?
just to show off Prompto. Oh, it's gone. Oh, okay. Whatever. Sure. Yeah, not dual horns. Fucking hell. The saber tusks just do that now. What's over here?
The color's amazing.
Hey, more shards. Can we jump over there? Yes, we can. Oh, the saber tusk's over here, so this is where they ended up then. Once you start combat, if you hold both L1 and L2, you'll be able to go to your character swap and bring in Prompto. Prompto's all about ranged combat and gunplay. He has his pistol that's unlimited ammo that you just hold R1 and move and you'll do it. This grenade here that you can throw once and then it'll have to recharge and it'll put people into stun. Or creatures into stun if you can get it. Hitting triangle when an enemy's stunned will do what you just saw there, crack shot. He also has a bazooka on his back and he also has an SMG. Both the bazooka and the SMG do have limited ammo, but they work on like a recharge. Like when you run out of ammo, you have to wait a set period of time and then you'll get your bullets back. And let's get our dog tag. And now we just got to retrieve it back to Dave. So I'm half tempted to go circle the mountain because I know there'll be good stuff there, but I'd rather go back and ask the tipster first, because the tipster will only tell you the quest objective marker the first time you talk to him, so you have to talk to him again to get the normal stuff you'd get from a tipster. So let me just quickly run back with the broken as hell motel sign over there. I know it's supposed to be just some fancy font, but it just looks like it's a busted sign. Oh, and barking dogs, I can only assume it's Dave's dog here.
Found one already, huh? You done good.
No worries, Dave, glad we could help.
Well, try to keep your spirits up.
That's all we can do.
I ain't one to talk. I beat myself up over the lives of the hunters I couldn't save.
Yeah, but that's a thing called guilt with grief. Everyone goes through it. If you connect to someone, you always like to blame yourself partially for what happened, regardless of how little involvement you may have had in it.
And that'd hurt more than anything.
But that's no way to live.
Yes, you're right.
You should always hold on to the optimism and hold on to the memories you have of that person.
And I expect
And that holds true to life, and anyone who may be watching. Always hold on to the good memories of them, because the memories will never die, even if they go. But we get a healthy amount of experience on that after I go on that little bit of a dark tangent. And now let's go talk to that tipster. So I'm just going to circle the block to see if there's anything here, but then let's go talk to that tipster and see if we can find anything nice. Oh, let me jump over, thank you. It's also a matter of, like, I don't want to go to Golden Key this part, but this part's not going to be that big if I end it now, so I want to do other stuff, and if that means going and exploring around the mountain, so be it. Next part I'll be journeying to Golden Key, and continuing the rest of the next step of the plot.
There's more dangerous things.
Oh, I might as well show off Justice Monster 5. It's a very simple little arcade game, but it's a nice distraction if you want it. The evil Grim Gargoyle and Bahamut's Grand Fleet have launched an invasion on the Nova Galaxy, threatening the freedom of monster denizens. Back for more, the fight was right, Justice Monsters zoom in to save the day, yada yada yada, you get the idea. You have a little ball at the bottom and it will swing left and right. You hold down the charge button or X and it will launch it off, and then you just got to cause as much carnage with it as possible. But you'll notice that the enemies have little shockwave attacks that will happen every so often, like that. If you go into them, your little ball will actually take damage, and if it breaks, you lose it. And you lose the game. And so then we got a little bit of health back. You can swap between 4 balls that have different abilities, because they have a blue bar filling up called their Hero Tech Bar. And it's very simple, and it's like... it's just what it is, like, don't think too much of it. It's a nice distraction, but it's also a nice way later on, and I'll highlight it when we get to it, hopefully, if I remember. But there's a machine later on that's special, because if you get a high score with it, you can get an item that sells for 500,000 gil, which is ridiculously helpful. Anyway, after every 2 or 3 rounds, you'll get a boss encounter. The little timer that appears above the boss is just saying how long you've got before they do their bigger attack. They usually take a bit more of a beating, but it's just more of the same. You don't be surprised if you get bored of this quick. There's nothing special about it. When the boss is nearly dead, the music changes. I'll show off the Thunderball. When the boss dies, you can keep on hitting it for extra points if you care. And now you move on to the next stage, and it's just different barricades, same shit. So that's the basic premise of it. I'm not going to continue going through it, but that's the premise of Monster Hunter 5 if you're curious.
I could eat a horse.
That's not the first time you said that. The first time you walked in, you said, I could eat a horse! Again then, so... Let's talk to the tipster and get some... Alright, there's a nice campsite not too far from here. There's a parking spot there. And outposts have been added, and there's the loot, and there's quite a healthy amount around the mountain, so that's where we'll be heading next.
Thanks for your business.
No worries. And let's head off. Oh, we saw a Magitech trooper. We'll see Magitech troopers for ourselves a little later on. I won't spoil how or why if you don't know, but we will see them a little later on.
Gotcha.
So, and they're not wrong about they look a bit unsettling with their design. I cut ahead just because I thought we'll be here for all day if not. Because all that running back, I can imagine it being a bit boring. Let's see what we get. Green choker. Okay, what's that do? Increases HP recovery rate. Okay, so like your HP regeneration. For now, I'll give that on Gladio. But I don't expect that to stay. I'd like to just give Gladio lots of health, not regenerating health really, because he tends to have the highest HP. Thankfully, the next thing we need to get isn't that far from here. Oh, there's something here as well. Fossil wood. Oh, okay, another material that we can use for something hopefully later on.
Real nice here.
There it is. In this boiling heat, which is like that here down here in the UK. We had like a week of straight snow, a week where spring attempted to happen, and now it's fucking snowing again. Some sweet pepper. I'm always like hesitant every time I pick up an ingredient that Ignis is just going to stop me in my tracks to tell me he's got a new recipe. I should really equip a 4th weapon, but I'm alright with what I've got with the 3 right now. Oh. Oh, it's a jewel horn. Okay, never mind. Okay, we'll do what Gladio said.
Of course.
And since it's got a lot of health, we can get away with just bringing in Prompto so I can try and show him off a bit more. Let's see, if you just hold down the shoot button as you're running, he'll just keep shooting little shots like this. But every other shot you have to aim it to shoot. You aim with L1 I believe, and then shoot with R1. Oh, there's another one! Oh god, hello.
Now it's time to go to town. Give him hell.
Why are you saying knocked? I'm right, I'm playing with Prompto, you should be congratulating me. Hopefully I can stun it again, because the most powerful thing in the game, one of the most powerful things in the game, next to ability Gladio gets and ability Ignis gets, is Prompto's crack shot.
Good as new.
that he gets by getting an enemy into a vulnerable state. He also has the ability to do Star Shell at any point, which will debuff enemies, and if you're encountering demons, will actively hurt them. The demons only appear during the night, and we haven't had any nighttime encounters yet. He has selfie shots if you want to take your own personal picture with the enemies just to show off, and he's got trigger happy if you just want to have a riot and shoot like a madman. There we go. Oh, I missed. The thing is, the bullet regeneration thing doesn't happen until you run out of bullets, which is a bit annoying, but it is just how it is. So you might notice at the start of the fight I didn't have many rocket shots left, and I had to let it recharge at the start, and then it was only later on I went to use them, and I made sure I used them all again so it will regenerate between combat. Well, I don't know if it regenerates between combat, but it will regenerate like the next time you play as Promptone, so you can actually have a full ammo instead of it only being a little bit at the start of a fight, because no one wants that. Right, what's here? Oh, another jump. Oh, come on, I just picked up a potato. What's here? Let's see if I can get a good view. Oh, another jewel horn.
All in together now. How about this?
Come on. Oh, maybe I can. Yeah, I got it. Take that. Yeah, you're not that special now, are you? I do Tempest. Bam. If you time press the attack button after most characters do like their techniques, you can do a follow-up. Not every character has one, but for most they do. Everything still needs to recharge, god damn it. Right, let's just shoot the shit out of it. I want to see if I can get it into a vulnerable state so I can show a crack shot more.
Stand in your way. You've got my back.
Never mind.
Always. None the worse. Bring on the next one.
Yeah, let's go over and get the rest of these potatoes. I believe there's one more thing. Oh, it says there's more over here anyway. Is it just more potatoes? Yes, this is. Alright, next is not too far away again. So I don't really have any much to say because it's just wandering about.
Stinking hot.
Oh, you know what then? If you're going to keep on complaining about the bloody heat, fine. Enjoy Prompto having less than 200 HP. Are you happy now, Gladio? You're going to keep bringing up the bloody heat. To be fair, losing the jacket does boost other stats, so it does go into your preference of what would you want boosted and what do you not care for that much. So I might as well just do here. But I think it is a little bit of a damage boost that you get with this, just at the cost of you don't have the HP boost. So poor Prompto's HP drops below 200, which is a very unhealthy number to be on in any Final Fantasy game, really. Ah! Oh, you gave him a little high five for getting him out of it. Oh, that's cool.
What can I say?
That wasn't so hard.
I like the animations in this game. That's one thing I can easily compliment it. The animations, that although some of them are a bit jagged and not quite smooth, the idea of oh, for goodness sake, the idea of them and like the momentum they go with it always works. It helps give the feel of brotherhood that they've all worked together for a long time. Like the whole then, like when Gladio swung over his head, or like Ignis saving him and giving him a little high five quickly. Just little interactions. I like that that's in the game. Because they could have easily not, but they went for it anyway. Then, to be fair, as I stumble across my words again, as always, they did push for the whole brother and another Mega Phoenix. For goodness sake, they do push for brotherhood a lot in the old trailers if you look at them and whatnot. So I'm not really surprised. Ah, there's something over there. I decided to cut along the way, but along my travels, I found this and someone with a broken down car. If you have a repair kit, which you should have brought from Hammerhead, if you can buy a healthy few, you can give them to people you find on your way who have busted their car so they can repair it and get a few little bits of extra experience. Yep, there you go.
Thank you.
No worries.
That couldn't have gone any better.
Complete. Unlucky drive and a bit. Look, see the nice little chunk of extra experience points. And now we're on a healthy 1,294 and 500 guild for our troubles. Now continuing with my cup to where we need to go. Way out of the way back here at the crossing. A garnet bracelet. Okay, let's see what that is and who to give it to. Enhances strength. Okay, that'll replace on Gladio because he is the hardest hitting character, and I'll give the regeneration to Iggy. Right, now before it gets dark, I think it's about time we head back to camp. Or no, let's head to the rest area even.
What a relief.
Because back here in the rest area, and it did turn nighttime in the run here because I didn't teleport.
Looking for a place
We can
to
get our
stay,
1.5 times bonus because sweet 1.5 times bonus. We're going to get a healthy amount of levels today, boys. Hopefully we'll push at least 2 or 3 levels extra. Because it will start to slow down a little bit after a while. It won't be this quick all the time. And since we don't have 10,000 gil, I wasn't going to wait till Golden Key to get the double bonus. Because this is enough anyway. 1, 2, 3. 3 levels, alright. So we're now all level 8. Oh, and Gladio's leveled up to level 2 with his survival, so now he'll randomly pick up remedies when you kill enemies. Which remedies cure every status condition. Well, let's see what pictures we have. That I kinda like, but... fuck it. I don't know. And so I look at all of these, and some of these are like, yeah, they're like quite cool, but I'm like, nah. But they're kinda cool, but no, I won't keep them. I need to get out of that habit. I should probably save a lot more.
Not bad. Perfect timing.
I'll save that one. But I think that's enough for my endeavours with cameras. So next time on Final Fantasy 15, we will head our way to Golden Key finally and explore the lovely area down there. But until then, you guys take care now.